Hi, and welcome back to Scratch. Today we're going to make chocolate fudge.
We'll need 4 cups of powdered sugar, 2 cups of half and half, a quarter teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla, a half cup or 1 stick butter, and 12 ounces or 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And while it's not required, I highly recommend a candy thermometer.
One of the first things you should notice is that I'm using a cast iron Dutch oven. It's because this is a very heavy pan and it distributes heat much more evenly. Before we even turn on the heat, we're going to add our 4 cups of powdered sugar, our quarter teaspoon salt, and our 2 cups of half and half. We'll go ahead and stir this without any heat until the powdered sugar is partially dissolved. While it's possible to use granulated sugar in fudge, a smaller sugar crystal leads to a smoother and creamier fudge, so go ahead and give yourself a head start and use some powdered sugar. You may have noticed that some sugar crystals are on the side of the pan, so we're going to brush those down with just a little bit of warm water. After brushing down the sides of the pan, we're going to go ahead and turn our stove top to medium heat and continue stirring the half and half and powdered sugar mixture until the powdered sugar is completely dissolved. Once our powdered sugar mixture is completely dissolved, we'll go ahead and add our chocolate chips. You can also use 12 ounces of chopped baker's chocolate. And we'll stir this until the chocolate is melted. Once your chocolate has melted, continue to keep stirring until the mixture comes to a boil. Once the mixture starts to boil, stop stirring and brush down the sides of the pan one last time with warm water. If using a candy thermometer, it's at this point that you should attach it to the pan, remembering to adjust it so that the bottom of the thermometer doesn't touch the bottom of the pan. Allow the mixture to cook undisturbed until it reaches the soft ball stage, or between 234 and 238 degrees Fahrenheit. Keeping in mind that times are just a guideline, it's been about 17 minutes, and according to the candy thermometer, it appears that the fudge has reached the soft ball stage. For those of you without a candy thermometer, what you're looking for is this quilting pattern in the fudge. Also, if you're not using a candy thermometer, you can check your fudge for doneness by doing what's known as the soft ball test. You can take a little spoonful of fudge and dip it into cold water. If you remove your fudge and it forms a soft ball between your fingertips, it's ready. At this point, I'll go ahead and float some butter and 2 teaspoons of vanilla on top, but I won't stir it yet. Then I will remove the fudge from the heat and dip the pot into some cool water to stop the cooking process and allow the fudge to cool more quickly. I'll allow the fudge to cool until it gets between 150 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to go ahead and lightly butter a sheet of wax paper to prepare it for the fudge. This will help it peel off easier later. And I'll use the wax paper to line an 8x8 inch pan. The fudge has now reached 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Most recipes will say wait until it reaches 110, but I can tell you from experience that at 110, the fudge will start to set in the pan and can't be beaten. So 150 is a good, safe temperature. So we're gonna remove the candy thermometer, and we're gonna remove our fudge pot from the water. And then we're gonna beat our fudge for about 5 to 8 minutes, or until the fudge begins to lose its sheen. It's been 5 minutes, and you'll notice that as you beat the fudge, it starts to thicken and lighten in color. This fudge has not yet lost its sheen, so I'm going to continue beating a couple more minutes. Okay, the fudge has now started to lose its sheen and is taking on a matte finish. It's at this point I'm going to transfer it to my buttered wax paper lined baking dish. Once transferred, I'll smooth out the fudge with a wooden spatula. And then I'll transfer it to the refrigerator and allow it to cool for 2 hours before cutting. It's been 2 hours, so we're going to remove the fudge from the refrigerator, and we're going to go ahead and cut it while it's still soft. Then we'll return the fudge to the refrigerator and allow it to cool completely, preferably overnight. The fudge has cooled in the fridge overnight, so we're going to remove the fudge from the baking dish and slowly peel away the wax paper. Because we buttered it earlier, there's little chance that the wax paper will stick to the fudge. Once removed from the wax paper, we'll go ahead and put the finished fudge back in the baking dish for easy transport. And remember, if you like the content, please subscribe.